Inside this mini edition of Bills, the smoke screen is thick with rumors, boys and girls. My 2 cents? I think agents and GMs are laying scent trails meant to throw you off the scent from that which makes most sense. Makes sense? Let's make heads or tails of scent trails round the Bills. The rumor mills off or spill on the Bills. Shefter reports that the Bills were among the teams who were knocked out by Carson Schwesinger's recent private workout, during which he clocked a 7.05 3-cone, a 4.25 shuttle, and a 10-foot 7-inch broad jump, all of which would have ranked second had he attempted them at the combine. What he did attempt at the combine was the vertical jump, recording a vert of 39.5 inches, second only to Teddy Buchanan's 40-inch vert. And Schwesinger put up 20 perfectly respectable reps, even respectable reps on the bench. With reports circling about Jihaad Campbell's recovery from a torn labrum, I am not particularly surprised to learn of there being increased interest in Schwesinger. Whether or not Schwesinger supplants Campbell as the first linebacker taken off the board, it's worth our time to explore how Schwesinger might fit in as a Buffalo Bill. Schwesinger's evaluation is fairly uncomplicated. At 6 foot 2.5 inches tall, weighing in at 238 pounds, but playing heavier than that, according to Joe Marino, and with 31 5/8 inch arms, Schwesinger possesses an elite physical profile, one which propelled him to a 9.86 RAS. With a pass rush grade of 90, which ranks him above any other linebacker in this class, and tape that presents a twitched-up athlete with keen instincts at all levels of the field and a quick trigger, there's really very little, if anything really, not to like about Carson Schwesinger. Dude's kind of awesome. Now, when the news broke, or at least the rumor broke, that the Bills had expressed interest in Schwesinger, most of Bills Mafia groaned. But not me. I get a thrill out of imagining the 3 linebacker sets Babich would all but have to roll out to combat opponents' 22 and jumbo personnel groupings. I get downright excited when I imagine what this defense could be in 2026, 2027, 2028, and beyond, with Schwesinger working beside Bernard season in and season out. I get goosebumps when I picture NFL team defensive rankings that see the Bills back in the top 10 of every category because we have a player in Schwesinger so capable of affecting the game at so many levels. Now, I never like to be derisive or divisive when I talk about football, but I can't help but find those Bills fans who agree that both the defensive tackle and cornerback classes in this draft are deep, yet simultaneously demand that Brandon Beane use his top 2 picks on a defensive tackle and a cornerback. While I understand those Bills fans wanting to have it both ways, that is, those fans who want both the highly rated defensive tackle and the highly rated cornerback, and they want to take advantage of the depth at both positions, I find that such desires confess a comfort in talking out of both sides of the mouth that makes me uncomfortable. So, as we slither our way towards our musical interlude, please do your boy Nick from New York, your personal, regional, friendly, neighborhood, congenial, self-licensed football therapist, a solid. And consider how often it feels good to have an awesome defense, and how good that defense can be when the linebackers are awesome. And then, while considering how awesome linebackers are, consider that this draft is rich with defensive tackles and cornerback talent. all throughout day 2 and even well into day 3. Do that for me. Picture your favorite round 2 defensive tackle and your favorite round 2 cornerback in a defense that includes that insanely awesome Carson Schwesinger. As you enjoy your one and only musical There are 2 edge prospects who are increasingly available at pick 30 in the experts' mock drafts. And these 2 prospects share similarly incomplete and similarly alluring profiles. And those 2 prospects are James Pearce Jr. and Shemar Stewart. James Pearce Jr. was labeled as a potential first overall pick back in August, prior to the kickoff of the 2024 collegiate season. He broke out as a sophomore in 2023 with 9 sacks, showing flashes of sack-creating, pocket-disrupting dominance. But while his 7-sack junior year was not a dud, it nonetheless produced more questions than answers. Does Pearce have the hand technique to counter against pro-level tackles? Does Pearce Jr. possess the ability to recognize pullers and shrink space to win in the run game? Can Pearce Jr. bend an edge? Is he flexible enough to flatten at the apex? Or is he a categorically linear athlete? Even with all the questions, though, Pearce Jr. did record 7.5 sacks in 2024 and ran a 4.47 40 time at the combine, far and away the fastest of any other edge. And like the other prospect in this comparison, Shemar Stewart, Pearce Jr. won't turn 22 until the fall. Now, Shemar Stewart weighs somewhere between 267 and 290 pounds, and is an athlete so freaky that he moved that weight vertically higher than all other edges at the combine other than Landon Jackson, recording a 40-inch vert. Shemar Stewart is well regarded by draft experts as the Adonis of this draft class, the best overall athlete, but his 4.5 career sacks over 3 seasons at Texas A&M raise concerns about whether or not he can develop a true pass rush plan. Learn to use his 34 1/8 inch arms and 9 5/8 inch hands effectively. Now, Texas A&M's production-suppressing defensive scheme notwithstanding, Stewart's current deficiencies with regards to processing, diagnosing, and understanding leverage and angles renders him a project. What is the Bills' appetite for a project at 30? I don't know. Stewart's draft profile reflects echoes of DK Metcalf, carved from granite, but as yet an unpolished stone. As for Pearce Jr., Kyle Krabs writes of him, put him on the field on 3rd and medium and longer, and he should find himself in an impactful role while he rounds out the warts in his game. A project. I would say that I hate to burst your bubble if you're liable to throw something through your television should the Bills draft either Stewart or Pearce Jr., but I kind of want to burst your bubble. If there were any team in this entire league who could absorb a project, it's our Bills. It's our 13-4 play away from the Super Bowl, MVP quarterbacked 5 consecutive AFC East title winning Buffalo Bills. I'm a self-licensed football therapist, and I really want you to head into this draft expecting to be surprised so that you can head out of this draft without being disappointed. Bills Mafia. Most rookies don't win you games as rookies. They learn and grow. If we draft Derek Harmon at the top of this draft and he dominates from week 1 onward, I will be pleasantly surprised. But if we draft Derek Harmon at the top of this draft and he takes time to develop, I urge you not to be disappointed. And so, if the Bills draft Carson Schwesinger, if the Bills draft James Pearce Jr., if the Bills draft Shemar Stewart, go right ahead and be surprised. I'll join you in your surprise. But you're gonna lose me if you get disappointed. These are rookies, my dear friends. Don't set the bar too high for them. Enjoy them. Root for them. And if you see me on the street rocking a Bills hat and a Carson Schwesinger Bills number 49 jersey, that was Tremaine Edmonds' old number, look at me, raise a fist in the air, and say, "Go Bills." And I will raise a fist in the air and say right back to ya, "Go Bills. Go Bills. Go Bills." Bills.